quite in the middle of things. It's been more than a week this time, so maybe not everyone remembers exactly what has happened. You had some. You were about to like tie up some loose ends on this level before, I assume, heading deeper into the vaults. And one of the things you remembered was this reading room, this surprisingly clean and brightly illuminated reading room, where you had encountered, well, the first time around, you had encountered just kind of like a talking light. Um, but you decided to come back for this, remembering the obscene literature that this creature seemed to be enjoying, and indeed, the creature was still here, still enjoying just as awful of an entertainment. But this time you pushed it a little further, and a fight ensued, and you ended up um, realizing that you are dealing with what's called a lurker in light. I believe that recall knowledge check was successful last time.
Yep.
It's a fey creature that relishes slaughter and mischief and whatever business it has in these vaults. It's easy enough to understand why it would feel right at home here, except for, of course, the perpetual darkness, which it seems to be fairly capable of holding at bay with its various magical light-related powers. One of those being that it can very easily turn essentially invisible whenever it is in some kind of light, which it has used uh, offensively against you multiple times. And to make things even more complicated, it has shown its magical prowess by cursing Birke with blindness. And that's where we left off last time. Birke's eyesight is gone. Everything is just darkness around her. She still is aware of her buddies, but the creature itself is completely undetected to her, I believe to everyone else as well. And that was the creature's turn. And then it's Lucca who's going to be up next.
Um. Yeah, I mean the most obvious thing to do is to try and dispel it again, because I think it literally just went in there. And if I remember correctly, I deliberately delayed in my initiative so that I could act right after it and try to counter that. So yeah, I mean maybe. So is it that it goes invisible once it enters the area of light, or is like the light somehow rendering it invisible?
It did. It did look. I'll give you that. It did kind of react to the light, so it had to blend with it. It's not like it immediately disappears as soon as it enters the light. And you know that because between its turns, it was visible, even though it was
Right.
in the light.
I mean, snuffing out the light would probably eliminate its ability to keep going invisible, but I think the more important thing is to just get it visible first. Um, who knows? If everyone can score some hits, then maybe it'll be dead anyway in a round. So okay, so I'll dispel magic again on it, which means I have to make a counteract check. Ooh, that's not amazing.
Hold on here. I'm still figuring things out. And where's the chat? Here's the chat. 17 counteract or the caster's DC. Um,
I
that
think
is
last
not a.
time you
Yeah, that's not enough. Failure to
counteract
function
the target if its counteract rank is less than 2.
Okay, and the
I have to
counteract
fail.
rank. What was the rank again? Counteract rank. Is that like a
It,
difference
it,
between
it,
the two of
it's
you?
basically like spell rank.
Of course, this ability isn't, it's not a spell, so I don't even know how you're calculating that, but
I think by default you'd go like as if it was a top level spell slot, like character level divided by 2 plus 1, or rounded up rather.
yes, very
Oh,
logical.
okay. If an effect is a spell, its level is the counteract level. Otherwise, half its level and round up to determine its counteract level. If an effect's level is uncleared and came from a creature, half and round up the creature's level. Got it. Okay, so 2.5 and round up. So no, that's not enough.
Okay.
Okay. That
All right.
was 2 actions.
That was 2 actions. So Lucca tries to dismiss the magic again, but it's not working as well this time for some reason. And he just glares at the thing, and he points a finger, and he says, "Don't let it fool you! It's right over there!" And uses his last action to point out a hidden creature's location. I forget what that action is called, but it's a specific one that lets him reveal the square, at least, to his allies.
It's like point out something.
Yeah, something like that.
Uh,
So he
that is actually called point out. Yeah. So you are aware of it. So to you, it is just hidden, right?
It's
So-
concealed to me, I think.
Okay. Okay. So you indicate it's one action. You indicate a creature that you can see to one of. I guess it is not undetected, so you don't have to be able to see it. Gesturing in a direction and describing the distance verbally, the creature is hidden to your allies rather than undetected. Okay, so I guess what I can do is I can remove the undetected and give it the hidden condition. And
The corner!
now everybody is able to know that it's in
Yeah.
that corner. All right. Which I guess for Birke shouldn't really make a change. Well, I guess you don't have to. What does it say? Describing the distance verbally, gesturing in a direction and describing the distance verbally. The enemies can't hear or understand you. They must succeed at a perception check. Those are only for allies who can see you. Okay, that explicitly says that. Okay, so for Birke, the creature is still undetected. So Birke would have to take a seek action to roll perception to have a chance to. And I looked up, so she's blinded, which means that she can still do the seek action, but because vision is her only precise sense, she takes a -4 on her seek check.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, that is already in there, the -4, and a 12 is not enough, so she can do it again.
Yep.
Just a single action. And that is much better. Oh, right, the first one was... Yeah, I can reveal that. That is much better, so she does now detect the creature, and it is hidden in that corner, and she could try to just kind of blindly poke at it.
Yeah, it is within range. I guess that's what Birke will do.
All right, then that's it. Yeah, you can... Does she take any penalty on her attack roll?
She'd have to succeed at a DC 11 flat check.
Yeah, but that's just for hidden anyway. So I guess she doesn't take any additional penalty for being blind. Okay. Go for it.
Flat check D20.
And that's a fail. All right. She misses. Soma.
First, Souma will produce the Wand of Magic Missile from her pack. That would be one action. Then, improvising it as an implement, I will cast telekinetic projectile on this creature that pointed out to us. So intent of using the wand on the next turn. Okay, so the the attack and then flat check, right?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. I don't think the order of things, unless it involves expending resources. So
No, it doesn't.
yeah, right. Okay, so that would be a miss anyway, I guess. That's what we're saying. See here. Okay, so that was 2 actions.
And drawing the wand as a third action.
Drawing the one was the third one. Okay, Ottardo.
Ottardo will raise his shield. And then I guess he will target the creature and miss, and then do so again.
This time that looks better.
And this would be -5.
Yes. Well, yeah, but not the mischeck, of course.
Nice.
Okay. It has the -5 in there. 24. That's a hit. That takes 10 points of damage. Yeah, so you feel satisfyingly. You feel your warhammer connect to some frail flesh and bone, and a satisfying cracking sound, and the creature yelps out in pain. And then its turn comes up, and what it tries is to. All right, what the order here is important, I guess. So we'll start by. Turtle just hit it, so still hidden from you, so doesn't need to worry about attacks of opportunity. So, but you do hear it, you know, mumble some primal incantation, and it shoots from its space a blazing ray of light. But it shoots it right past you, despite the fact that you are, or you should be flat-footed, but I don't think that makes any difference here.
Yep.
All right, so in that moment it becomes visible. It has to, but then it takes a reaction to blend with the light once again, which should make it hidden to you at this point. And then it takes a sneak action to try to get away, to become undetected. So let's see, it's sneak. I know that your highest perception DC here is 18 between the group, so it successfully sneaks away. And let me make it undetected first. All right, so it successfully sneaks away. Anthony, remind me how Lucca's detecting the creature.
I have see the unseen.
Oh, correct. Okay, so for you, of course, nothing changes, and it's your turn.
Running low on dispels here. Lucca is. I don't know how this works precisely, Simon, because this is where logic and game rules kind of start to butt against each other.
My favorite situation. Tell me.
If I cast a spell at the creature, clearly trying to attack it, but I don't take the action to point out where it is, can my allies infer where I'm attacking the thing at, or are they completely stumped?
I think that is pretty obvious because you're targeting a square, so and that's that's the resolution that we have. So your allies would automatically understand, especially since you're only fighting a single opponent. If there was lots going on and your friends might be distracted and not really catch the square that you were targeting, I would say, okay, that's different. But since you're all trying to fight the same creature here, I think it's fair to say that that'll have the same effect.
Okay. In that case, I will step away from the door, and then I will just try to shoot at the thing, summoning fire to try and hit it with the produce flame. I do have to succeed a DC 5 flat check first, though, because it is still considered concealed. So,
Okay. Hidden.
all right.
Okay.
Maybe if I failed the flat check, I would be so far like
Yes.
off target that they wouldn't even know where I was shooting at. I don't
Yes, I
know.
like that. I like that. It's a good way to put it.
Okay, so I will make my attack roll. Clearly sending the firebolt into the corner of the room over here as I... oh, let me target it. There we go. Try to catch it with a blast of fire. It's a 14.
14, that just goes against its regular AC, right? That's a miss.
Yeah. Okay. Firebolt sails past it, but clearly aiming into that corner.
Right. And then it's Birke's turn.
Well, Birke is straining her ears to try and figure out what's going on.
She hears the explosion of fire to her right, but isn't really sure like did she actually move? How far did the room go again? It doesn't really figure it out here. But then like centers herself and realizes, oh no, she didn't move. She's still right where she wants to be. And the creature's hidden from her.
Die, stupid thing.
There you go. That's a good amount of power. Now let's see the flat check.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry. D20. Yes.
There you go. I guess that's the nice thing about rolling the flat check after, so that you see
Yeah.
like if all that nice damage actually gets applied. All right, yeah. So Birke again, like she's just blindly like listening for it and then poking her Gizarm a certain direction. She does strike the creature successfully for quite some damage, and then it's Soma's turn.
So, like, I see. So when he's hidden, I can't actually see him, right?
You what? You can what?
I can't see him, right? When
That's
he's
correct. You
hidden.
don't. You only know the space that it's in. You don't know.
Well, never mind. My cunning plan of casting an unavoidable magic missile is foiled. Because it requires me to
Well,
actually see him.
oh, it does say that. Okay, no, then you cannot.
Oh well.
Because you can still target with a spell. It just takes the
Mhm.
regular DC 11 flat check. But
Well,
if it specifically says,
I will just wave the wand in the air and cast Inspire Courage first
okay,
for everyone, and try to whack it with telekinetic projectile.
and it misses. Okay, Ottardo.
Ottardo will put up his
Don't-
shield.
Don't forget the Inspire Courage.
Oh, right, sorry. Ottardo will put up his shield, and then, well, he's seen where the flames went, so he's going to take one step and then target the creature.
Kind of like knocking the table out of the way. The book goes flying.
And
With that horrible illustration.
yeah, and that's enough distractions in the room to make him like completely off balance and unable
All right.
to target the creature.
Okay, and then it's the creature's turn again. Let's see. What are we gonna do? I think there's not much left it can do except for who heard it last? Birke did. So yeah, so it turns towards her, even though nobody can really see that in that moment, and unleashes a claw strike claw once. That's a hit for 10 points of damage.
It's targeting Birke. Okay, so at this point, Ottardo will spend his reaction
Okay.
to grant her resistance. I forgot how much resistance that was. 2+ level, so resistance 6 to this. So she only takes 4 points of damage,
Nice.
and Ottardo will take his the opportunity to swing at the creature. That check.
Oh, right. He gets in.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to see the source of the attack, right, to use that.
Trigger,
He's-
an enemy damages your ally and both are within 15 feet of you.
Oh, well.
I guess since it's hidden to you, I'll let you do that.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, it technically, as it does so, it becomes visible anyway.
Okay.
So I think that's fine. But yeah, you miss. Okay, so it did the first claw strike. It follows up with a second claw strike, missing once again, and then cursing in the Fey language. It uses its reaction to once again become invisible, and then uses its last action, which should be the third, to sneak away, avoiding all of your there we go, avoiding all of your detection, except of course Lucca, who can still see it. And it's your turn, Lucca.
Remind me, this illuminated chandelier, is it just like a torch or a candle in the chandelier that's lit up, or is it like the whole thing is glowing?
Well, it looks very similar to the one you saw in the adjacent room, and remember that there was an ever-burning torch in the center, and then like very artfully crafted lenses and stuff that made it look like it was a whole chandelier with a bunch of different light sources. But at the core, there's just an ever-burning torch.
Okay. Can I don't know if I can roll some sort of check for this or something, but I'm trying to determine, is it hiding just in the ambient light in the room that's being cast like by our spells and stuff, or does it seem like it's specifically the light of the ever-burning torch?
Did you already do a recall knowledge on it?
I honestly don't remember.
I think you did. Like, you're the one who told us the name of the creature.
I think all I was able to do was tell you it was a fae.
Yeah.
Although I guess I must have been the one to tell you because nobody else could see it at the time. So
Well, I remember you had at least the name, and I guess if you had the name, then you had.
then I must have identified it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that you definitely have no way of discerning which light the creature allows to blend with it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. In that case, Lucca is just going to reiterate it's hiding in the light. Not sure if anyone can do any. I mean, it's either that or we fight it in darkness, which is not going to be beneficial for any of us either. Although I suppose then at least it's dealing with the same problems. Unless it has dark vision. But anyway, I'm going to just essentially do what I did last round in the hopes that my allies will be a little luckier. I step over here, also blocking the door, and I'm gonna produce flame again, and shoot it into the wall directly across from me, right over Ottardo's shoulder. Let me roll the DC 5.
DC 11. So
It's DC 5 because it's just concealed to me.
Okay. So there is actually the next level. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, got it. So yep, you make it.
It's still a little blurry, but it's
Right.
it's not as bad as not seeing it at all. Okay. And
Still miss it. All
I'm
right.
tempted to just use a hero point on that, honestly.
Do it.
Yeah. Come on. 20?
Ah,
Missed it.
Oh
Still
my
missed
god. It's right over there! He's so frustrated. Right there!
it. All right. That
Setting
was your
books on
turn.
fire. That's my turn.
Okay, Birke.
But wait, does yes, that counts as Birke.
Hey, Birke does detect the creature in. Whoops. There we go. She's been nailing her perception checks.
Well, I would hope so. She is an expert in it.
Yep.
all right. Well, she is going to blindly swing. Oh, forgot.
Nice!
Forgot.
She's
Sorry.
blind and she's the only one hitting this thing.
Oh wow.
Yes. That's everybody close your eyes. All right. That is double damage? Seriously?
No, we gave her the.
Yeah, it's
Oh
not
wait,
a
it's
crit.
not it's but almost. All right. So 9 points of damage. Yeah, another hit for Birke. She slices the thing. There's blood dripping onto the carpeted floor, but it doesn't go
Uh,
down. Still has an
I
action.
yeah, she's going to attempt to do so again.
All right, let's see that. And that's another hit for another 13 points of damage. And as she strikes the creature, it falls down, becomes visible once and for all, and bleeds out on the floor.
Nice. Well done, Burke. If only Ale was here to congratulate.
Yeah.
Oh. But well done.
Well done
See,
indeed.
I was just hurling out tracer rounds, you know, so that you would know where to aim.
So that's 60 XP for each of you.
Every little bit counts.
Indeed. That's respectable for a single creature.
Well, it was a low threat at this level, but still.
But I'm afraid what it would have done to us if we had shown up just a little bit earlier before the level up.
I feel like it's actually a pretty clever encounter to put into, an early stage here because the invisibility, like its abilities, kind of have a little bit of redundancy, like the blindness and the invisibility. And since it's such a confined space, it's somewhat easier to fight it, despite of this usually very powerful ability, because it couldn't really get far away from you. So I feel like it's I would consider it a training encounter. I'm just saying.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah, odds are good it's within reach of at least one PC in this small space.
Yeah.
Even if you can't see it, if you're just attacking randomly into squares, if you've got 4 PCs, you've got like almost a 50-50 shot of someone picking the right square.
Yeah, and it's flying, but it can't really use that to its advantage because you're in a low ceilinged indoor space.
Right.
Don't want to talk down your victory, of course, but I feel like this was intentionally designed to show off some of the mechanics without making them immediately be super powerful. All right, yeah. So Birka brings it down. It falls on the floor. It starts bleeding out. It's clearly dead. Becomes visible in that moment, and the room falls quiet.
Someone
Ottardo.
will.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, someone will just fall into the chair and try to relax after this breath, and will take a deep breath and actually try to look at what lies on the table in more detail.
Ottardo will help Birke into the other chair and try to see if he can do anything about her blindness.
Okay.
I have the scroll, by the way.
So as you do so, you check her carefully. Like I would imagine, you like shine. You use some of the magical light, and you move it back and forth. And eventually, after a minute or so, her eyesight comes back.
Okay.
That's good. We'll save it later. By the time when we will get permanently blinded.
How you said that takes a minute?
A bit about, yeah.
Okay, this lasts for 10. Lucca is like, watching this, and once he realizes Birke is okay, he says, "Oh, this spell, which allows me to see hidden threats, it will not last for much longer. I suggest perhaps we at least take an opportunity to peer what is behind these doors before we consider resting any longer."
Oh, yes, of course. So, and someone will immediately scramble back. But it's like put the one back in her pack, and well, give a nod to Ottardo. Well, will you oblige? Or
I'm sorry, does Souma hand something to Ottardo?
I'm sorry. Was I mumbling or my mic didn't pick up?
I don't know. It seemed like it cut out at the end. It ended on the door.
No, that's where I ended. Sorry, it's on me then.
So what do you want to do?
Soma will basically say, "Well, Mr. Ottardo, the door, please." That's what I meant.
Okay. Well, he will reach for it.
Yeah, and you find a small chamber with a bathtub and a commode. Everything's surprisingly clean, but little of interest here.
Lucca will step in and he'll do a quick little combo of detect magic and looking carefully around the room, just trying to guarantee there's no more hidden enemies.
Well, no hidden enemies, but the entire room seems to be coated in a minor enchantment of some sort.
Ooh, there is some sort of magic here, but it does not seem an immediate threat. At least not that I can detect. Let us investigate the other door, and then we shall come back. Hey, can I do a search check in there? I always forget if it's seek or search.
To search the room, it's search. Seek would be a creature.
I guess seek. I just want to see if there's anything hiding in there.
Okay, yeah, you can, sure. Roll a secret perception. Nope, nobody seems to be in here.
This one's clear.
And as someone trained in the arcane arts, I'll give you that the aura you're sensing and the way that it is like spread out around the room is probably an enchantment used to keep this room so clean. That's what you would suspect.
Okay. Yes, I can cast read aura as well if that helps.
Yeah. Well, it reaffirms that suspicion.
It does. Yeah, it takes a minute to cast though. So, but yeah, next one quickly.
All right.
And then Ottardo will go for the other door.
Yeah. It's another small room. This one looks more like it may have been a guard post at some point, but there's very little in here except for a broken iron stool and what looks like a well-used whetstone.
Hmm.
No magic here.
Keen look around.
Nothing seems to be hiding either.
Well, yeah. While they are searching, someone will then take a notice of the room itself.
Okay, you want to give me your... wait, hold on. What's Birke's perception check for? To seek in the room or to search
Yeah,
that
to
room?
check the room. Yeah.
To check the room. Okay, to search. All right. It's kind of silly to have those separate, but I'd like us to be strict about that.
Okay.
So she searches the room. In that little guard post next door, nothing particular comes up. That it's literally just that little whetstone, which seems useless at this point, and the broken iron stool.
That perception prompt is for me?
Yes, that's for Souma. Very nice. So Soma, as the other ones are kind of rushing from room to room and making sure that everything's safe here, you peruse the books that sit on the shelves in this reading room. The soft gurgling from the fountain in the corner, giving this whole room something of a very relaxing atmosphere if it wasn't for the Fae bleeding out on the carpet. And there's a couple of books here you're pretty sure that Morlibent would be very interested in. But there's one in particular that strikes you as standing out in some way because it is a pretty slender volume and it's tucked inside a larger book about ghosts. And the book itself that strikes your interest is called Ineffable Hauntings.
Mhm.
And yeah, it seems to be chock full of like arcane writings and occult theories, and seems like even though it's just a slender book, it seems like it could be of great interest to someone who can make sense of such things.
Mhm. Oh.
And in addition, again, there's plenty of books here that Molibint might be interested in. Also, as you plop down on one of the chairs to like take a closer look at this little book, something like makes you sit a little uncomfortable as if you're sitting on something, and you reach down between the cushions and you pull out a little key, an iron key that looks like large part of it is shaped like a defaced symbol of a rodent.
Mm-hmm. Like an eye, I can imagine it, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think I have. Let me see if I have that for you as an object. Is that it? No, that's just a generic one. I feel like I was looking for that last time. They have this very nifty overview of keys and the corresponding doors in the entire vault, but they put it into a really weird spot. So it's nice that you have everything in one place, but that place is just kind of obscure. See, there it is. And yes, here he is. I forgot to put it into the actual room. So you can take this one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What's the rest of the gang doing as Soma is settling in?
How
Lucas,
much time?
Sorry, one at a time. Sam, why don't you go first?
How much time would have Soma's investigation taken?
This was, I mean, with the minute for Redora in the washroom and Birke searching this room, this is all kind of happening at the same time.
Okay. Well, is Ottardo is just standing ready to move forward.
Yes, swiftly now. Lucca's just kind of urging you along. I feel like he's got like a little sand dial or something counting down to 10 minutes, or a sand. What do you call it? An hourglass, a little 10-minute version. He's like, swiftly.
Yeah, and as Lucca hurries us out, like some wait, but the books, and as he will at least grab the hauntings books. Like, okay, we'll get them later.
We'll be back for them.
But the impeccable hauntings it was called?
Ineffable.
Ineffable hauntings. She will take it with her.
And all hauntings ineffable.
And as soon as Souma is ready, Ottardo will reach for the handle.
Yep, and you reveal a staircase that leads down.
Down. Okay. Well, are we ready to dive deeper?
Oh, it goes down. Oh. Hmm.
I mean, we'll have to. I think we might at least take a look, I suppose.
Any invisible threats down the staircase?
Nothing you would detect?
Detecting everything I can.
All right, so you actually make me check that next level, don't you?
I mean, as far as 30 feet goes. I don't know how
Yeah.
far it goes down the staircase.
Yeah, I think it's actually going further than that. So on the staircase itself, you don't sense any magic from there.
Well, okay. It seems things are safe in this area, at least at the top of the stairs here. Need we take a moment, or do you wish to press on while I have the... Oh, he checks the hourglass. Few remaining moments of the spell.
Ottardo is good to go.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, very well then.
Well, look at you. All right. New level. Exciting. Let me figure out where you actually coming out here. That's
Leaving at least one known threat behind, but
Oh,
I don't-
fantastic. Oh, this makes me so happy.
oh dear.
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna move you in a second. I'll load it for you while I'm.
Should I be concerned about the number of spells I have left?
Alright. Won't. So Birke is bringing up the rear, if I remember correctly. Ottardo in front.
Yep.
Souma behind him, and then Lucca and then Birke. Is that right? Is that about the order?
Sounds about
Yeah.
right.
Okay. All right, let's go. You descend the staircase, and finally reach another door.
Okay, well, Ottardo will reach for it. Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed.
What is it? What do you see?
All right, let me see if I can get the right music going here for this level. All right. So, you open the door and you behold a scene of carnage from a long time ago. There's a pair of brightly glowing chandeliers illuminating a long banquet table that's surrounded by luxurious high-backed chairs. The table is still set, as if for a grand meal of some kind, but some of the place settings are scattered and toppled, and the same goes for a few of the chairs. And next to those chairs, or to some of those chairs, there are four skeletons in tattered finery, kind of scattered around the room, some of them still clutching their own necks. Um,
Their own necks, you said.
their own necks, correct. All right.
If indicating some sort of suffocation or something like that?
That might be what that means. and you step forward to investigate that closer, and as you do so, something horrifying happens. Inside the skeletons, like inside their skulls or inside their chests in various places, you see this ghostly light start um, to kind of flare up slowly. And as the light comes up, so does the skeleton, like very slowly pick itself off the ground and rise to its full height and turn towards you and stare at you with its empty eye sockets, but with that ghostly light burning in the back of its skull. And here we go with initiative. I will add you all to it, and then we can roll for it. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay, and all of those are now visible. So it's 4 of them in total that rise to the occasion. All right, feel free to roll your initiatives. Okay, I have everyone in here, and it's actually Birke. Despite bringing up the rear, I guess she is ready for any kind of danger, and is the first one to act.
I guess she has a clear view of this creature, right? Could she try to identify it as part
Sure.
of her?
Yeah,
Of
recall
her,
knowledge using religion.
Yeah. So she'll make that her hunted prey, and then she will roll religion.
Skeletons. Yes, you've fought them before. They are restless undead.
Okay. Well, she will move into the room.
Yes. But I mean, since Birke didn't crit fail, so I'll give her that some suspicion that this is more than just a regular old skeleton. This like ghostly glow that you see inside of them. You feel like you've seen that before, but you can't quite put a finger on it apparently.
Okay. So she moves into the room and she will swing at the closest skeleton.
Oh boy.
Really?
So she starts us off with a critical hit and a mere 12 points of damage. Okay, well, that is per round. Okay, so she strikes the creature, then the creature itself, like with the stoic contenance that undead often have, just kind of takes the hit, and then staggers back into position undisturbed, even though it took some serious damage. All right, one of the things in the back starts staggering forward. It isn't slow. It is moving at a regular speed, but its movement is somewhat erratic, almost like a puppet in some ways, as it moves forward 25 feet, kind of pushing those chairs out of the way. It's just really like beelining, not bothering stepping over them, just kind of throwing its legs against the chairs, sending them sliding across the room until it makes its way over here and then attacks with a claw once, missing, and then another claw missing again. That was its turn. Soma.
Okay. Well, I'm inspiring every defense, everyone. This once, then, well, I guess if Lucca didn't see it, he will immediately make him aware, like saying, well, Lucca is like more of your friends, and don't. I'm sorry, but we're not gonna speak to them. Then Like cast another telekinetic projectile, probably like animating one of the pieces of cutlery. Yeah.
That's a hit.
Now no longer invisible enemy.
Yes, and you do some bludgeoning damage, which is extremely effective. It like knocks
Yeah.
the skeleton's bones right out of place. And that was your round or your
Yeah.
turn.
Yes, one cast with 2 actions.
All right, Ottardo.
Ottardo will raise his shield and he will twirl his warhammer in his hand menacingly
Haha.
as a way of entering dread martial stance. So I can roll this, and he crit fails that.
You fail a
Drops the
draw.
warhammer on his bow.
And I guess embarrassed and sheepish, he is going to attempt to swing it properly at this skeleton.
Ottardo, did you just dent your own armor?
Oh no.
It is a hit though. 10 points of damage. Send it straight to the floor. And hold on. Hold on. So what happens is a little weird. There it is. Okay. So you strike the skeleton, and it's like just a satisfying cracking of bones and their dusty skeleton parts flying through the room. The shape collapses entirely, and you almost want to turn towards the next one to continue uh, your attack, but then you realize like there's still some movement out of the corner of your eye, and you notice how the remains of the skeletons, or from the remains of the skeletons, a ghostly light emerges and coalesces into like a ball-shaped form. It's tiny in size, um, but yeah, that is what happens. Okay, yeah. So that's all that happens for now, though. The skeleton still collapses to the floor, and just this light emerges from it and takes shape. And then you're free to continue your round if you have any actions left.
No, that was it.
Okay, so then we have another one of those skeletons. Which one is it? That one. Once again, move forward in this kind of janky, erratic way and targets Ottardo with its claws, striking once. Oops, that was its jaws, but doesn't make a difference. And striking with its claws once more, missing both times. And then it's Lucca's turn.
Lucca says, "Oh, there you all go, so quick to judge again." Steps in. Oh, it's crowded. Oh, excuse me. And he's going to see the skeletons, but then he's going to see the ball of floating light, and I guess he'll try to identify it.
That's a religion check.
Okay. I'm not gonna add it because I don't know if this is the case, but if it's against undead, then it gets a +2 because of his staff of necromancy. So.
All right. Yes. So yeah, you get the same feeling that Birke gets, and obviously now having observed what happens once you smash them to bits, you know that this is more than just a regular skeleton. But at least you're pretty sure that in the regular skeleton shape, they have the same traits as skeletons, meaning famously vulnerable to bludgeoning damage. So that's what you're getting from that. And yeah, Karnas, I'm using a module that's called modifiers matter. So when the roll just barely misses, it calls out the
Yeah.
buff. So that's why you see that Inspire Defense made the difference here. And I saw somebody talk about that it's really cool for people who play buffers to be able to see that they really are contributing, you know. So yeah. All right. So that's what you learned from your recall knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, Lucas, like, did we not encounter some sort of wisp-like entities up above?
Was very
He's going
unpleasant.
he's going to try to blast the wispy thing. Oh no, wait, he only has one action. Oh, we're not doing Inspire Courage.
Oh, sorry.
He's no, that's okay. That's good because it means he can actually make more use of his diabolic edict. Because it doesn't normally stack with Inspire Courage. But he's going to who's up next? Birke. He's going to turn to Birke and he's like, Birke, dispatch that one swiftly, pointing to the wispy thing. And he's going to say, I will be very grateful to you if you do so. I don't like it. It looks too much like a ghost. I don't know how I have to offer rewards for the fulfillment of this every single time.
You will have my gratitude, yes?
Yes, you'll have even more of my gratitude. That's it for him.
All right. And then we have another one of those creatures. The last one here moves up or staggers forward and just targets Birke as she is the closest one. With a claw strike and then snapping its jaws at her, missing both times. And then it's Birke's turn.
Could it be that you skipped over the wisp?
Did it? Oh yeah, because it was marked as dead. You're right. Thank you. Should have gone here. It was marked
Did
as
it not
defeated.
already take its turn while it was inside the skeleton, or does it get a whole new turn now that it's out of the skeleton?
No, it didn't take its turn yet. It didn't move an initiative. This is where that skeleton would have taken its turn after Lucca.
Oh, it didn't. The skeleton didn't even act yet. Okay.
Yeah. So what it does is it moves away, actually. And hold on. Give me a second here. Sorry, I'm just confused by how this wisp form. I feel like I remember that it had some sort of immunity while in wisp form, but I guess it doesn't really. Okay, so then it's just gonna move
Immunity to what?
to certain kinds of damage and stuff. Or like being incorporeal or something like that, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I would swear that it is. Okay, anyway, it's gonna move away, and it seems like it's like very intentionally moving this way, flying over here. Um, and I guess it. Sorry, I'm sorry. This is taking longer than I thought it should. Please. Okay, and then kind of like it does seem to be made of pure light, but it also doesn't seem to be able to just pass through solid matter. And you see it kind of bang against the handle of the door over here, which causes the door to pop open. And then it takes a third action to move into this room.
What? It's leaving.
And then, yeah, and then wait, that corpse, that skeleton already went, and then it's Birke's turn.
Through a door? What?
And by opening a door, not through it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Birke is conflicted now.
What are you waiting for, Parker? Go after it.
Birke is going to move closer to the thing, but she does not want to rush in there. So instead, she is going to target this skeleton.
Oh, right. Okay. So that's at a -1.
What are you doing, Parker? That's all wrong. Holy
I know what I'm doing.
Oh, it's all wrong. Sure. All right. That is 20 points of damage. Nice.
And she'll do so again.
And
Holy
indeed,
shit.
she does another 20 points of damage, which brings the creature down, the skeleton itself, but causes the ghostly light to appear. Whoops. Here we go. Okay. And I have to make sure I mark it as not dead. Okay, good. Because I believe that was her turn, and then the creature's turn comes up. And let me see. Yes. And it hovers over here, once again popping against the door, and then moving into the room. Birke, from where you're standing, you can peek into that room, and you see various things. Seems to be some sort of storage room. Don't have the time to take it in, but what is immediately obvious is that there are two skeletons slumped in that room on the floor. And then it's Soma's turn.
Okay. Well, let's providing it for defense, and I lingering rest. Check. It will not be lingering. At least I don't spend my point. Okay, never mind. I will continue do what I do. I wonder if I target the skeleton here, will it automatically give me a penalty to attack if from cover or not?
Try it. We'll see.
Let's see.
I believe.
No, I don't see any penalty on it, so that's a hit.
Okay, let's have it then. Yes, I'm bludgeoning thing. I will pick up a plate or a mug from the table and.
Yeah, so
whack.
even a whole, yeah, I guess a plate makes sense. So you just smash some of that fine, one of those fine dishes into the skeleton, causing some pretty significant damage. And that's Ottardo's turn.
Ottardo will raise his shield again and then swing at the nearest skeleton.
And you swing and you strike, and you cause pain, and you strike again, and you cause more pain. Yeah, you, with just two swift swings of your hammer, you make lots of cracks and pieces fall off of the skeleton. Very effective. That's your turn?
Yep.
Okay. And then that skeleton's turn comes up as it stands there. And as I said, you were like hammering away at it. There were like large chunks of bone falling off as you're breaking the bones with the force of your hammer. And as you do so, as it starts to crumble, that bluish light in there starts to shine a little brighter. And all of a sudden, the jaw just kind of goes slack. The entire skeleton just kind of almost goes limp, just stands there and goes, "Ah!" And out of the skeleton's basically every opening shines this ghostly, deathly light. It is a 20-foot cone, so it'll catch all three of you. But yeah, it's only for living creatures. Sorry, Lucca. Um, so
Only I was
Soma,
healed.
Soma and Ottardo, please give me that fortitude save.
Okay.
I'm really missing out here.
All right. So because at least one creature failed the save, it is actually gaining hit points from this. And um but it doesn't do any damage. Meh. No, there is damage here. So that's good. Failure means you take this much damage, Ottardo, and you are frightened. And Soma, you only take this much damage. And
I like this
no,
damage.
what's that?
Yeah, that's a good amount of damage to take.
Yes, couldn't hardly be less. Okay, but and also no riding effect on that. But that did take its whole turn, so then it's Lucca.
Luke is grumbling as he's like, "You people, why are you always blaming the skeletons? Can't you see it's not the skeletons, it's the thing inside the skeletons? You're ruining perfectly good skeletons!" As he's like charging through the room. He sees that glowy blue guy through the doorway. And he's going to try to burn it.
All right, let's see it.
Oh my god!
And you missed. All right. Okay, then we have one of the things. Yes, it's that one. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so it will. You don't really see this, so I'm not gonna tell you about it right now. I'm just gonna do a couple of things here. And that was a single action. So then out of this room staggers yet another skeleton, illuminated by that ghostly glow from within. And as its third action, it swings its claw at Birke. Missing. Damn it. Okay, that was this one. Then we have one that, yep, that is actually keeping up not strongly here, stepping forward, targeting Ottardo, and swinging away with one of its claws, and then snapping its jaws. And missing, all the time missing. Birke?
Birke. Well, Birke has a target that stepped up to it, so she is going to swing at it and miss, and then attempt that again.
Ooh.
Ooh, now
Critical
that's a
hit.
crit.
Oh, now that indeed is a crit, but it only destroys the shell, not the ghostly light within. Because that actually returns with a single hit point. All right. Still have an action left?
Yeah, she does have an action left, and what did this floaty thing? Could she attempt recall knowledge again now that she's seen the floaty thing out of the skeleton?
Um, s- sure. Yeah. Give me a religion check.
All right, religion.
All right. Yeah. So you remember these from one of the levels above. You remember fighting them in these cathedral-like space. At the time, they were taken over the more fleshy corpses that were in that space. So they seemed like zombies at first, but you're pretty confident that it's the same underlying creature. They are wisp-like, um, and for lack of a better term, we can call them corpse lights. And I think, yeah, so you have heard stories of this. You've heard of willow wisps that aren't able to consume enough. Um, I think it's fear that they feed on, and if they fail to consume enough and over time, they might actually starve to death. Um, and if when that happens, they might turn into these corpse lights. Yes, kind of like that. All right. So yeah, what do you know about them? You know that they are undead. And you know their most famous ability is to claim corpses. So they can, fully inhabit a skeleton or a fleshy corpse, and they can take command of its body and use it to full effect. That's what you've been witnessing here. So that was her action, and
Yep.
then Lucca, you were beholding that corpse light up there. Probably should have rolled that earlier because I forgot. You see that it's trying, or that it might be trying something with those skeletons in that chamber, but before it can take hold of one of those bodies, it just starts to kind of like dissolve almost and fade away, and all that's left in the end is a spongy substance that falls to the floor as it appears to be dying.
Hmm.
Soma, your turn.
Curious. Okay. I will continue providing inspired defense since apparently it worked at least once, so it was worth it. And I think Sir Ottardo and Lucca will be fine. I will try to target the corpse light way far so I don't shoot in melee with a telekinetic projectile. Wait. Wait.
That is a hit, indeed. Which one did you target? This one down there. So that's 11 points of damage. That is enough to hit the creature, and it also shows the same thing. Like you hit it, it falls down, and as it hits the ground with like a wet, spongy sound, the light goes out. And Ottardo.
Ottardo has two targets to choose from. They both seem to be equally damaged. I guess he'll go for the one. I don't know how to describe it, but that one. I'm just trying to see. Is this the first round he gets frightened? I guess so.
Yep.
Okay.
It took a while.
Yeah, so he is going to swing at it.
Okay, that's a hit and causes some good amount of damage. Satisfying
And
crack.
he is going to attempt that again.
And succeeds and follows up with another brutal swing.
And then he will lock back up his shield, and that will be his turn.
Okay, and as you bring that creature down once more, it forces the corpse light out of the corpse it was inhabiting with one hit point remaining. Let's see, mark it as undefeated. Which one is it? This one. Okay. Does it have a hit point? No, not yet. There we go. And I believe that's its turn now, too. Okay, so it moves away through the open door. Come on. It moves away through the open door with one action. It spends another action in there to claim the corpse. And there we go. Now it is a skeleton. It will regain some hit points. And then it comes staggering back out. Whoops. Going over here. Well, I guess it would probably only move here. Lucca is already in reach. And then it's Lucca's turn.
Lucas sighs as he says, "Oh, for hell's sakes, you're just prolonging this process." He's going to delay. Actually, wait a second. Let's just channel energy. 3 actions. I call upon the foul magics of the positive plane.
So you do.
Basic fortitude saves.
Wow, okay.
Ah,
Ooh, crit fails. Ooh, crit fails.
feel the wrath of the divine. That's 12 points of healing. I guess all my allies also heal. And the crit fails take 24 points of positive energy damage. I think so.
Right, because it's doubled. Yes. Okay, so that causes one of the corpse lights to emerge once again with one hit point and attacked, no wounded condition. All right. And the other one
No,
is very close to being destroyed.
please, somebody finish it.
All right, so then the corpse light over here, it is right next to Ottardo. It doesn't really have much strategic acumen, so it's just gonna start flailing at you with its claws. That's a 29 to hit for 9. And then,
Ottardo is going to shield block that.
okay. And then it's another claw and another jaw, but both of those miss. And then it's Birke's turn.
Birke is going to target the corpse light, as she called it. Ooh, Birke!
Wow, she is on fire. And even though, I mean, she only needed to do 1 point of damage, so that's definitely enough to cause that corpse light to also die.
And then she is going to move across the room and take a swing at the remaining skeleton. Wow.
And
Oh, sorry.
continue.
I clicked critical instead of
Yeah.
damage.
I'll just do the regular damage, but that doesn't really matter because it was already so close to dying anyway. She forces out yet another one of those creatures, reducing it to 1 hit point, forcing it to claim another corpse. All right, Soma, your turn.
Well, I think it's time for me to be a hero, so Tomo will first. I will continue casting Inspire Defense. Then she will drop her summoned instrument. She will draw her magical rapier, and with inspiring battle cry, she will try to stab the ghost light.
Okay, let's see it.
Nice.
A hit. And even a single point of damage is going to be enough to finish the weird creature off. And then it's Ottardo, I believe.
It is, but is there? Do we see any remaining creatures?
Oh, you're right.
You had me
Those
worried
are-
there.
with those things never really fully dying, I just kind of got distracted here. But you're absolutely right. You successfully dispose of all of them, even in their wisp form. So yeah, you might be on your, on edge for a few moments, and let maybe a round or two pass before you can truly relax and call this. But yeah, there's no more undead bursting out of the other rooms. So that's 80 XP for each of you.
Hmm? Now that was a most unpleasant reminder.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
God.
indeed.
Uh,
Oh, there's some lovely bones over here.
I mean,
Yeah,
like, someone looks at in this room, looks in that room, like, oh my,
Yeah.
they're not just here, they're bones everywhere.
Yeah, let me do a picture here of the rooms that are already open. Like as you peek inside, you see. Let's do one at a time. So the one down here at this door, um, there's a that looks like it used to be the kitchen. There's a somewhat strange looking cast iron stove with no chimney that sits in the southwest corner of the room. That's the one that you're not looking at right now. That's I'm talking about down here. Um, and then to the north in that room, there's a large oak table that's covered with cooking utensils and stuff and sitting against the wall. And then, yeah, so you can still see outlined in the dust where the skeletal body that was claimed by one of the corpse lights was slumped at the base of the cupboards along the western wall for a long time, apparently.
Birke will go in there and take a look at the room.
All right.
Yeah, someone will
He's up.
try to actually open the door to see if the pattern continues.
All right. So you open this door and you find a dusty metal wash tub with a small skeleton lying inside,
Mhm.
and next to it, a low shelf.
I see. And this one? Oh.
And this one, yeah, this one's definitely different. The walls of the chamber are decorated with twisting runes carved into the wall and filled with dull silvery metal.
Mhm.
The floor and the ceiling are almost completely covered with large and polished metal discs.
Didn't we see those already?
Similar, yeah. You've seen similar chamber around, I think on the upper floor.
Simon, I rolled for Birke, but I didn't notice the perception
Yeah,
sound.
okay, I got it here. Yeah, well, Birke looks over the kitchen and there's nothing left that seems to be useful to her.
While the search is ongoing, could Ottardo like try to see any cause of death or anything like that? Like
On the
that
skeleton?
from like a global view of all the skeletons. Like
Oh,
that's
okay.
a ton of dead. That's a ton of dead people, and you mentioned the clutching for the throat.
Yeah. I think it becomes quite obvious as you open up a couple more doors to the adjacent rooms and you see all the skeletons inside those rooms as well, that something horrible must have happened here. And with the skeletons originally clutching their throats like that and being arranged around the table as if they tried to get up from their chairs but then fell over dying, it makes you quite convinced that there was some sort of mass poisoning that happened here. Um, However, the dead body in the kitchen, how that fits in, that's a little bit strange. So if you want to take a closer look at that, you're welcome to do that. And the
He'd be
same
interested.
for the two bodies in that little storage room to the north. That doesn't quite fit the picture.
Yeah,
And
he'd be
that
interested.
body in sorry, and that body in the tub. That's also a little weird.
Yeah. He'd be wanting to figure out if it's like poisoning through food or poisoning through some gas.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, since there are only skeletal remains at this point, that would be impossible to
Yeah.
tell, but I mean, you definitely can look through the bodies, and as you do so, you notice that they still have some possessions on them. So I just revealed a lootable sheet in that room, so you should be able to grab their possessions, and once again,
Um,
and those aren't once again, those aren't what's it called, like mystified, but I don't really mind. I'm not a big fan of identifying magic items. So
in which room is that?
in the main room, so bottom left corner, there should be a
Okay.
lootable thing. There's some gold, and there's a bracelet that sticks out, a silvery bracelet that appears to be magic. And there's also one of the bodies in one of its pockets is apparently um, has an arrow, a single arrow. And then there's some gold pieces scattered around about the various bodies.
Anyone do a lot of acrobaticsing?
Well, I mean, it is one of my well, it's not my calling, but I'm fairly proficient at it. If situation calls for it.
I'll be back in a minute. I'll be right back.
Sure, go ahead.
Yes, I am better into necromancy.
I am already quite swift as a skeleton.
Yeah, neither Birke nor Ottardo are agile, so I guess it goes to you.
Yes.
Wait on my okay.
And
And
I have no use for an arrow like this. I mean,
I
it's
guess maybe
pretty cool.
Soma could use it
Okay, I
as
guess.
part of telekinetic projectile.
But do I have to?
I guess you'd need at least to activate it before.
Yeah, so I don't actually have to shoot it from a bow. No. Yeah, I do have a bow, so I can shoot it normally too. Okay, I'll take it.
So we have a kitchen, what? This is some sort of storage room. Is that what I heard? I was very busy
Hmm.
looking at the bones. Or
Uh,
some sort of
Kitchen,
washroom.
storage room, washroom. Apparently, this is. I don't think we actually figured out what this room does.
Oh well.
I think it's like the other ones where we figured it was like a sort of elevator between levels.
Oh no, this one is much larger though. Is it not?
Uh, I think they're all
Are they all 10 foot?
feet by. I think
Were they?
I'm not entirely sure, but I seem to remember that.
I mean, it would make sense. It would
Well,
allow room
yeah,
for
you'd
more than
want
one creature.
you'd want the elevator to have some carrying capacity.
This is a bathroom or a washroom, I suppose. Someone died in the tub. That's sad. What a way to go. Looks like a dwarf died in there.
Or a child.
That is one ugly proportioned child. I prefer to think it was a dwarf.
Do I take a closer look and find out?
Sure. I
Right,
suppose
so
actually it would be interesting to know if it was a child.
I was gonna say I feel like Lucca would probably be kind of drawn to a strange-looking skeleton. And you
I don't
prod
have
at it,
bone lore.
yeah, and you prod at it a little bit, and all of a sudden, the tub looks for a moment to be clean and filled with soapy water before it returns to its actual dusty state.
What is this?
And you should have just also seen that on the map. They made a little map.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. As the scent of harsh dish soap still clings in the air for a minute before it fades. And as you inspect the skeleton further, you realize, oh right, not a dwarf, not a child, it's a halfling. Yeah, and you see among the bones, there's some clear remains of a stabbing. So you would probably be able to tell like there's like scrapes on the bones and some cracks.
Yes, a halfling, hence the hideous proportions. But there is something strange happening here.
He'll take a minute and cast Read Aura to try to understand better what's going on with the tub.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be a magical effect.
Oh, oh dear.
Um, Birke is going to step in there and just give an inspection to the room.
She searches the room. All right, give me a perception check. Hmm. Yeah, nothing's of use still in this room.
But you did see it, didn't you, Birke? The tub was filled with water and soap for a moment.
It did flicker there for an instant, yes.
Mm.
Can I roll like spirits lore to see if this might be haunt related?
Yeah, do it.
I guess I'll whisper it.
Yeah. Good idea to do this secretly.
+2
Yeah,
to identify undead.
yep. And I mean, just the fact that you're trained in spirits lore would make you realize that this could very well be some sort of spiritual event that's happening here, related to a haunt, maybe, but it seems to be a fairly harmless one. But who knows what else is lurking in these rooms if such a horrible event has happened?
Tread lightly, everyone. the corpse lights. Is that what they're called? The corpse lights may not be the only thing haunting this place.
Birke will also inspect you said it was like a storeroom?
Yeah, it looks like storage. The walls are lined with cupboards and shelves and cabinets. There's a few barrels that sit in near the middle of the room, and two skeletons. Well, I guess now only one slumped near the barrel. Um, there's nothing of value that seems to be remaining. I'll give you though that whereas the corpses in the main dining room, I mean, all of their clothes are just like tattered and at this point unusable and without any value, but you can still tell that it must have at some point be quite valuable finery. And the corpses in the storage here, they wear simpler garments. Not poor or anything, but maybe they were servants.
Okay. Are we ready to keep?
There is one thing.
Mhm.
The remains of these so-called corpse lights. What is the deal with that spongy stuff?
That's a really good question, and the, I'm sure there's plenty of scholarly debate what this matter actually is. It's still there. It still
I
clings
poke,
to
I
the
poke
floor
it with
where
a
they
stick.
Can you what?
I poke it with a stick. What would happen?
You poke it, and then your stick gets even more sticky. Haha.
It's dead, Lucca.
Yes, but what kind of dead?
Hmm.
Can I roll something about that?
I mean, that was rolled into your recall knowledge check earlier.
Oh.
So yeah, but again, like there's plenty of scholarly debate about what these wisps are actually made of.
I'm going to collect some. Just for yucks.
So,
Lucca will scoop some of the spongy stuff up from one of them, and I don't know what he stores it in, but he's gonna like wrap it up and add it to his inventory. Corpse light sponge stuff goes in the backpack.
Spongy corpse light flesh, I guess if you could call that.
Yes, of course. Spongy corpse light flesh. Well, I've got it now, whatever it is. I suppose we would do well to move on. Has my see the unseen, is it still active or has it worn off at this point?
I think at this point it would be one off.
Okay.
It's 10 minutes in total, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think at this point should turn off.
Let's see. Trash it. Yes. Okay.
Ottardo will reach for this door handle.
All right, you open the door and find a wine cellar behind it, a tall wine rack with bottles that are thick with dust after so many years. Stands against the north wall. Otherwise, the room appears to be empty.
Who's the wine connoisseur here?
I mean, Souma will at least help herself to one or two bottles to check out later.
All right, well, Soma, give me a society roll if you discern anything in particular, but you
Understood.
just grab a random bottle, you open it, you take like a big gulp of it, and swallow it down. You're like, ooh, oh, this stuff's not bad.
Yeah. Well, since we opened it, I guess we can share. So someone will give the bottle to Ottardo.
Okay.
Ottardo will take one gulp and no more.
Okay. Are you trained in society yourself?
I think he will, yes.
All right, then you can try that society check too. Okay. So Soma hands you the bottle and you accept it and you look at the label and you can't believe what Soma just did. It's it's an incredibly valuable vintage that she just kind of nonchalantly popped open here. Now the bottle is probably worthless, but when it was still corked, it would have easily fetched 20 gold pieces. It's really good wine though.
Well, yeah, that's you, it would be in poor taste to waste it, I guess.
That's true. Luckily, there are two more of that vintage still on the shelf, so you can take two valuable bottles into your um, inventory.
Uh, can we drag them to the stash directly?
I think you should be able to do that, yes. Yeah, and I don't know if you saw that, but Soma actually crit failed her society check, so I figured that would make sense that she
Yeah.
would for the bottles.
Okay, well. Uh, let's keep investigating. This seems to be some sort of dining hall.
You open this door and find a room pretty much the size like the other ones too. There's an open metal hatch in the floor, all the way against the east wall. There's some storage bins sitting to the north and south, heaped with old bones and broken tools and lumps of stone. And as Birke moves into the room and like kind of leans over to peek into the dark hatch in front of her, you sense a stir in some of the storage bins. Roll for initiative. Let's see. I think we're gonna play this out with initiative. That makes the most sense in my mind. So go ahead and roll for it.
Okay.
And then I will figure this out here. Hold on. Okay, all right. Excellent. Okay, got your rolls here. I'm gonna start the encounter. And basically, as Birke leans forward, wait, what? I'm so sorry. I have to look something up here. There we are. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna roll first, and then we'll take this apart. Okay. So what's happening? So she leans forward there, and all of a sudden, and none of you can really discern where it's coming from. You sense, like I said, you sense like some of the material in some of the bins shifting, and then all of a sudden, like a couple of larger chunks go flying, looking very much like when Soma uses her telekinetic projectiles, and they just hammer Birke in the back, and it shoves her forward. So what happens is that Birke gets shoved. What's Birke's 42 DZ?
Uh, it is 20.
Okay, so she does get successfully shoved, and that means she falls into the hatch.
Oh
So
no.
what happens? Uh, okay, so she gets shoved into the chute, and now she has the option to, assuming that she doesn't want to slide down, because she knows she immediately notices that it's a far way down. So she can try a reflex save to grab an edge.
Yeah.
Uh, there we go. Right at the top
Yeah.
of the chute, she can try that.
Yeah, that's going to be hero point.
Okay, that is definitely hero point material here.
Oh,
Very classic hero point move. Um, and she starts sliding like you could see her hand like reach for the edge, but maybe it's because she was holding on to her arm, so it was really awkward to grab stuff. And then her hand just go down as she slides down the chute. She can try an acrobatics or athletics to brace in place within that chute. So you can try either one.
Yeah, that will be athletics. Okay.
nice.
So she like manages to brace herself into position, just wedging herself in that chute, and you hear her voice echoing up, like it has this metal reverberation to it as she's like, uh, "I think I need some help down here." Um, all right, and as she does that, right in front of the chute, something materializes for just a brief moment. Um, and it looks something like this. It's this
Ooh.
skeletal, ghost-like humanoid shape. Just I mean, uh, manifests in front of the chute in plain sight of all of you. Just kind of flickers into existence, and everyone within 30 feet. So that doesn't actually affect Birke in this case, but everyone else needs to make a will save. That also includes Lucca. Nice.
No, it's not.
Pum,
Oh.
pum, 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 pum.
That's a success and another success. Okay. So, Soma, it freaks you the fuck out seeing this thing. Um, then a success. Yeah, so the two of you, Luca and Ottardo, you're okay. You were kind of bracing yourselves for some spooky stuff to go down here. Um, but yeah, so that's what it does. So that's action 2. Hold on.
In which space did we see the apparition?
Yeah, it's visible now. No, hold on. So yeah, it used 2 actions to do the shove, and then it uses 1 action to use its
Oh,
frighten ability, and which means that it is now visible right now. So that was its turn, and then it's Birka's turn. Unfortunately, she's down in the chute. She could try to climb back out using an athletics check.
yeah, but just before that, like she has a light source.
Mm-hmm.
How deep do things look down?
She looks down. Which level are we here? All right. So I guess I can actually just open a secret door here. There we go. So as far as she can see, it's just shoot, shoot, shoot all the way.
Oh, okay. So she doesn't see a button. Okay.
Yeah, and it's
Uh,
not like it's not a vertical shoot. It slides or it slopes, not gently, but
oh,
it's also not a precipitous drop.
okay.
I guess
Well, yeah.
we'll move her here. That would be more accurate.
Yeah, she will attempt to climb up.
Okay, that prompted an athletics check in the chat.
Nice.
Oh, very nice indeed. All right. So, yeah, you can climb back up and out.
Oh, we're paused.
Oh, sorry.
How? I guess 5 feet.
Where isn't it half your speed or something like that to climb?
I think it's 5 feet per successful check. Like
Oh,
on a.
wow. Okay.
Am I wrong or is that?
Crit success.
Crit
Oh
success,
yeah,
you
I think it
up-
lets you go 10.
yeah, you move
It's
up,
5.
across, or safely down for 5 feet plus 5 per 20, so it's 10 feet. Yes.
10 feet. No, okay, so I guess she could make it here.
Oh, yep. Excellent. Okay, great. Well, let me see what we have here. Yeah, I guess you can still squeeze into that square. That's fine. All right, so that was one action. You still have 2 left. Sam?
Sorry, I was muted. Can she slam the hatch closed?
Um, let's see. Is it? I guess yes. Yeah, why not?
Okay. And I think for her last action, she'll hunt this thing and I guess get to make a religion check.
Okay, yeah, that is definitely a religion check. 17. That is some sort of ghostly apparition, you would think, but what exactly that is, you don't know. So that was action 2.
That was 3. Closing the hatch would
Oh,
be
right,
2.
closing it. Yes. Okay, Lucca.
Lucca would like to identify this thing as well.
Oh, hold on. When Birke climbed back out, that actually triggered a reaction by the creature, and it sends an object flying towards Birke.
No. No.
23 points of damage.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Hits hard. Right, and then it's Lucca's turn.
Yeah, Lucca wants to identify it.
Right, that's another religion. Or if you have some applicable lore.
Spirits be appropriate.
Yep.
Okay. My spirits actually isn't as good as religion, but if it's more specific.
Yeah, and you can try both. I don't mind if you try both with one check.
Okay. Wow. Oh, sorry, I forgot to hide it.
That's fine. Religion. Okay. Yeah, you also don't know what this creature is exactly. But you would think it's some sort of ghostly spirit.
Oh, ghost! We're gonna set it on fire like we always do.
Okay, let's see. Oh,
And we're gonna miss.
but
Like
miss.
we have every time today. I'm done.
Okay, Soma. Ghost indeed. You are
Well,
right.
yeah. Oh man, I just realized I've dropped my instrument, so in this case, Somo will indeed yell like "Black Wings of Death! Now what the hell?" And she will hide behind a chair. Second, she will cast telekinetic projectile on this, and will she use a knife from the table? Like the knife will just whisk past Sir Ottardo between Lucas' ribs and right into that thing.
Okay.
That's probably gonna be piercing.
And
Yeah.
just Flies right past. Okay.
That would be
Ottardo.
one, and yeah, for my third one, Souma will draw a flute from her pack.
Okay. All right. Ottardo.
Ottardo is going to raise his shield, and then he is going to step into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Although it is crowded, can he stand in the corner, in the south corner?
Corner, yes, but that's pretty much and the chute is now closed, so you could stand on top of that, but not down here or up
Ah,
here.
well, he'll go there for the flanking with Birke.
Okay.
And with his last action, he is going to swing his hammer at the creature.
Ooh, look at you.
A fine strike.
Let's see if it does all the math correctly. It looks like it did. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you just strike it, and as you have had the experience before, it seems to be an incorporeal creature. The impact is somewhat lessened as you only feel like you're slicing through water, essentially.
Hmm.
But it does seem to have an effect for sure. Okay, that was your turn, I believe.
Yep.
Okay, then it's the spirit's turn, and the first thing that happens is that it becomes invisible, and then there's like bits and pieces in the entire room start like at first they just start trembling and rolling off their containers, and then some of them go one at a time, just 2, 3, 4, 5, and all of a sudden the entire room erupts in a telekinetic storm of some kind. And what happens is it's each creature, and this effect has only one target? No, it does not. Okay, so each creature in the room within 30 feet, actually. So that includes Soma. Nice. It makes a strike at a -2 penalty against each creature. These count as one attack for the multiple attack penalty, and the penalty doesn't increase until after all the attacks. Okay, so let's do that. And I believe I would roll for each one individually. And we'll go with bludgeoning for all of them, just in case it makes a difference. There we go. That did not make a connection. How about this one? Here we go. That's a hit. 12 points of damage as Lucca gets struck by one of the flying objects. Getting hurled around in the room. So does Birke for 14 points of damage. And Soma, one of the objects comes hurling out of the room, striking you because you're frightened, but only doing 2 points of damage. Okay, so that was that. I think this should actually currently. Sorry, I'm doing this wrong. I need to use the conditions instead of the GM thing. So first thing I do is I make it invisible, and then it is currently hidden, but now it will sneak, so it will probably become undetected in a second. So I'm just gonna roll for this now. And
Just a question: is it now undetected because it made an attack and that reveals it?
no, because it went invisible in a square and didn't move, so it would still be hidden. And now it is moving away from that square, sneaking, so now it's undetected. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
So
I thought
did
attacking sort of.
Yeah, unless you have natural invisibility.
Ah.
Let me double check. Yep, it only becomes visible when it uses this frighten ability that it did.
Okay.
Otherwise, it is invisible. Birke.
Well, Birke is feeling bad. She is going to make use of the one healing potion she has left. So that would be one action to pull out, one action to drink. And for her last action, she is going to re-grip her Gizarm, because I assume that for climbing she had to do it one-handed.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's her turn.
Lucca.
Well, I guess I'm glad I saved at least one of these. He waves the staff around and his eyes get the little pinprick glow again. And he looks about. And then he will just use the last action to say, "There in the corner!"
Point out.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes it hidden for everyone, is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Then Soma, your turn.
Okay. Now that Soma has her instrument, she will produce a haunting melody that would actually inspire courage, because she's afraid and she wants to feel better about herself. And I will try to make it lingering. So what would be standard difficulty for my
DC 4, level 4 is 19.
and it will work for 3 rounds. Okay, that was 1, and well, that's about it. I mean, Soma will move closer to see where Lucca is pointing, but that's the extent of my actions. I still have one action that I will spend to insult it, I think.
Okay, but I can. Well, I guess if you, I mean, do you actually want to do the intimidate action, or the bomb? Oh, okay. Okay. You want to web discharges a foe within 3 feet. Roll diplomacy. Okay, roll your diplomacy.
Yes. My grandma made better jump scares than you. And well.
Okay, so that is a regular success. So it does get the effect of this, I guess, because why would it? It doesn't have anything that says that it wouldn't be affected by that. Okay, so and what is the effect again? It's the distracted, taking -2 to perception and will saves. Okay. I mean, you don't have any way of noticing that. You just kind of curse the darkness. But
Yes.
all right, Ottardo.
Ottardo will raise his shield. He will step into the middle of the room, though he's not happy about it. And he will attempt to swing at the darkness. And fails.
Right. Any actions left?
No, that was it.
Okay. All right, then the spirit creature. Once. Let me see. How many times can it do that? Well, it's just 2 actions, so it'll happily do it again. And the room just, I mean, basically, it never all the items or all the objects in this room kept swirling through the room this entire time, and it just continues to do that. Maybe even intensify a little bit as bits and pieces are sent flying your way. Lucca first. That's a hit for 15.
Ottardo will intervene here.
Okay.
So he will grant Lucca resistance 6 to that damage.
Did Lucca just go down? Anthony? Are you muted?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he would have if Ottardo hadn't saved him.
Nice.
Okay. And he will make use of the opportunity to swing at the creature, and I guess he maybe could.
He might. Yes, indeed, he does. On the nose because of Inspire Courage.
I'm
And,
being super useful today. This is very reassuring.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry,
Oh.
didn't mean that.
Trying to make friends here. All right, but Ottardo also got hit by the ghost for 16 points of damage. And then we have Birke, who also might get hit, and indeed does so for 15. And Soma, you also are, yeah, you might be getting hit, but you should have some cover where you're standing here, but you're not getting hit anyway. Okay, so that was 2 actions. And now, as its third action, it's going to try to sneak. Ooh, and fails to do so. So I guess it just, despite the fact that there's just objects flying around the room, you probably notice that there's like a chunk, a bunch of objects that kind of roll off that shelf over here. So the creature is still only hidden from you, Birke.
Well, Birke now has her weapon firmly grasped in hand, and I guess she sees where the creature is rather than seeing the creature itself. She is going to swing at it. Miss horribly, and try again. And miss again. And she has 1 action left. What could she do here? Let me check quickly. I guess maybe a Hail Mary, who knows?
All right, you can always roll a 20. And that's a miss. Lucca.
Lucca is hurting pretty badly. Let's see. Okay. Oh, it's incapacitation though, which means, oh god, it's probably not gonna work. Okay, we're not gonna charm. This isn't incapacitation, is it? Okay. All right. We might as well. Try to do something here. Lucca's going to try to command it.
Okay. You shall command. You can command. Okay, let's see. Will save, and it is taking a penalty to it. 14. That's a fail. For the
All
first
right.
action turn was used. Okay, so what were you commanding?
I don't know if it's even capable of this, but he's gonna command it to go prone.
Okay.
Like he's like, get down on the floor this instant! Stop floating around up there. Actually, if he commands it to drop things, will it be for? Well, I guess it probably just picks them up anyway, like magically. Okay, yeah, he's just gonna make it go prone. Lie down. Stop moving.
Could you? I guess it's not listed in the spell, so you couldn't command it to appear.
I thought of that, but I don't think I can use the spell for that.
You know, it's pretty clear on what it can and can't do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just try to make it go prone.
Okay.
And that's 2 actions. It already knows where everyone already knows where it is, so this is not the most effective usage here, but I'm also very badly hurt, so I'm also going to cast a 1-action harm spell on myself
Okay.
to get 8 hit points back.
Don't be much worse.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. Soma.
Actually, if Lucca is very badly hurt, that would be a good time for me to try use battle medicine on him.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. Normally way in the back.
Yep, go for it. Oh, there we are.
I'm going to put wounds on him. Normally, yeah, I will hero point this. I don't want-
Okay.
There we go.
Nice. Good use of that hero point. So how
Now
much does that
It should give
restore?
it should give me the prompt for healing. Somewhere,
I guess it doesn't work with the hero point re-rolling.
probably. I'll just
It should be 2d8 if it's like regular crit wounds.
All right. 14. Nice.
Oh, very good. Put a splint on right there, thank you.
I've got some some rawhide specifically for this. They say it will hold together anything.
Very nice. Very nice high-speed plaster work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was a step, a heal, and I have 1 action left. I will insult this thing once again, but with intimidation now.
Okay, you're trying to demoralize
Oh
it.
wow, it
Okay.
has effect as well.
Let's see.
Ah, well, okay.
And that's a
Not as good, but
Ottardo.
Ottardo will raise his shield. Then he will reach over to Birke and lay hands on her.
Mm-hmm.
And for his final action, he will target the creature and
So-
fail to do so.
Don't forget to apply the lay on hands effect to Birke too, right?
Yes, you're right. I always forget it. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a +1 AC, +2 AC for 1 round. That's pretty good.
All right, and then it's the spirit's turn again, and it does as it's told. Lucca, as only you can see, it kind of punches down in a somewhat weird way since it's flying. But I guess it's has to magic to comply with its magic compulsion. But then it rises up again as its second action, and as its third action, it once again becomes visible. You know, it once again just comes like into a full view, and Birke hadn't seen it before, and Soma, you had failed your save, so the two of you need to try to save again. The ones, Lucca and Ottardo, you're immune to it because you saved the first time around, and that is great. Talk about Talk about dice emergent storytelling. Well, you're not only frightened, you are now also fleeing,
Oof.
Oma.
Ooh.
Birke, however,
Wait, what? Oof, I mean, I'm fleeing to safety. You're staying there with him.
and then it's Birke's turn.
Well, the creature is now clearly visible, so that's the right time to try to slice it.
Indeed, it's a hit.
Also,
Ooh, damage.
don't forget the Inspire Courage. It still works even though I'm fleeing.
Oh right. Oh, it was all right. I forgot.
I guess it should be one more point of damage.
Yep. I'm trying to scroll back up. When was it? There it is. Fire and inspire. Birke will do that again.
But
And
misses.
fail. Does she have to use here? I'm not seeing really anything, so I guess she'll just hope for a
Alright.
20.
Yep. And that's a miss. Lucca.
Oh, well, I guess now's the time.
Burn it.
There we
Yes.
go.
You toss fire its way and you incinerate it. Give me some damage.
10 points. Not amazing.
Of which only 5 come through.
Oh, really? It resists that? Oh, dear.
Third action.
Can I attempt to frighten it?
Sure.
But it's not immune to me frightening it, right? I can yell at it. This is your true death, poltergeist. Never mind. Maybe not.
That does not seem to feel like a threat to it. Soma.
No, well, Soma runs away. And fleeing. On my turn, spend each of my actions trying to escape source. Yeah, so that's about it. Right. And she goes upstairs.
All right. Then it's Ottardo's turn.
Ottardo will raise his shield and swing at the creature.
Okay. That's a hit for 9 points, which nothing comes through. Oh, you did an unarmed attack for whatever reason.
Oh, sorry.
Can you roll your regular damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks better. And now way more comes through. Okay, and
He is going to try again. And
Come on now.
I think he will hero point that.
oh, okay, that might be a really good idea. Oh yeah,
Yes.
good use of your hero point. 10 points. That is enough. Your holy hammer strikes true, and as you connect, you just kind of whoosh, disperse the currently visible ghostly apparition, and as it goes away, all of the objects that are in flight in the room just kind of go plop, drop down, defying the laws of physics, like in mid motion, just poof. And that seems to be it.
Hmm.
That is 60 XP for each of you. And Soma, after a round, you'll find yourself on the level above, or maybe not even quite all the way there. And the urge to flee is gone, and you can come back and join your friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So he does eventually. She like looks from from the door. I forgot the word. Like, so well. So what is it done? Is it okay?
Yes.
Here's so.
No, that shit was scary. I'm sorry, guys. It startled me.
No, you are quite right. To be afraid of ghosts.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm starting to see what you meant, Lucca.
They really suck.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, I must say, running quite low on uh, my magical reserves. I know not how the others of you are feeling. There's yet another door out of this chamber, and considering that these other rooms have not led anywhere significant,
Mhm.
I dare suspect it will take us, oh, a more considerable distance into this level.
Well, I suppose we might just take a look what's beyond that, and maybe after that we could go take a break a bit. Because I think
No,
I kind of also
before-
had plenty of fun today.
Yeah, before that, Birke will inspect the room because if she will suggest that if there was a poltergeist in this room in particular, then maybe something happened here.
Okay. Yeah, if she looks through the room, that doesn't even require a perception check. She finds in one of the trash bins bones that quite obviously must have belonged to a human.
I'm sorry, did you say bones? Let's have a look at them.
Yeah, they're you agree they're quite obviously human bones. It looks like it's a full body that's just kind of been hefted into this big trash bin. Been there for a long time. It's really just the bones. It's mostly decomposed at this point.
I mean, it's mostly bones. Should, well, ordinarily I would consider such things a good find, but considering all the other bones that we've come across lately, my bone bag is rather bulging.
Hmm.
So, perhaps we just throw these down the garbage chute, eh?
Well, we don't know where that chute leads. Maybe it's wiser to not announce our presence.
Oh, very well.
Kind of glares around the room one more time.
And Ottardo, I'll let you do a religion check. Or
Yeah.
you're what, an expert in religion at this point, or
No, I think still, yeah, just trained.
it's fine still. I mean, because I think you're suspecting that these might be the bones of whatever creature, or whatever living creature used to be the poltergeist. Um, from a religious perspective, the least you could do would be to, you know, say a word of blessing over the bones or something like that.
Yeah, of course. Um, and he will move in, gather them all in a neat little pile and say a little prayer.
All right. So you do. There's no noticeable change. There's no flashy effect that happens or whatever, but Ottardo, I'm sure, feels better about himself for having done that. And you should.
Well, I'm feeling better. Oh, right, the spell. We're carrying wounds, Birke and I don't think it's wise to run into any more trouble.
Well, Souma just wanted to open the door and see what there was to see.
Yes.
That way we know what to prepare for.
Sure, if we're prepared to run away,
I am always prepared.
then yeah, okay.
What is it?
Another door.
Yeah, it's just a very short little hallway and then another door. I'm so glad you opened that door. It's a pretty large chamber, and it's hung with grisly paintings. You see, like as you look around the room, you see on the paintings various spectral beings cavorting among ruined neighborhoods, swamps, foggy graveyards. There are three large, overstuffed chairs, paired with a small table, and on each table there's a empty wine glass. To the south, there's a cluttered writing desk with its own chair. And there's also a large iron tub to the west, which is visible between some standing screens that depict shadowy marshes. But there's somebody in here. Somebody's sitting at the desk with their back towards you. And they seem to be like kind of engrossed into their work, hunched over, they're writing something. You hear them mumbling a little bit until they like straighten up, still kind of hunched over their work, but you see them perk up and you hear a voice. And the voice has a weird ring to it, like it is just a single voice, but it almost feels like every single frequency in that voice is audible, as if it's like a swarm of voices. And the creature at the desk says, "I was expecting to have you reach this chamber at some point. I guess none of the others were able to dispatch of you. Well, I'm sure I'll be able to change that." And then the creature gets up, turns around, and looks like this. A walking mess of worms and maggots that is in a humanoid shape, wearing clothes, but is in itself just a swarming, writhing mass of vermin. And that's the end of today's session.
Surprisingly stylish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
I apologize. I will take full responsibility for this. Let's run away.